Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about one of the most important qualities that will determine your success on the path to achieving your long-term goals. Patience. In a world that moves at lightning speed, where instant gratification is the norm and everything seems to happen overnight, patience can feel like a forgotten art. But let me remind you, good things take time, and patience is the steady hand that guides you through the journey when the results aren't immediate. When you set your sights on a big goal, it's natural to want to see progress quickly. You want the breakthrough, the win, the proof that your hard work is paying off. But too often impatience leads us to give up too soon. We become frustrated by delays or setbacks and lose faith in the process. The truth is, lasting success rarely comes in a day. It's built over months, years, even decades of consistent effort, learning, and growth. Patience means trusting yourself and trusting the journey, even when you can't see the finish line clearly. It means celebrating small victories, those little wins that seem insignificant, but are actually the foundation of something much bigger. Every step forward counts. And patience helps you appreciate each one without rushing ahead or throwing in the towel. More than that, patience builds resilience. It gives you the strength to face obstacles without breaking down or reacting impulsively. It helps you bounce back from failures and criticism because you understand that setbacks are not the end, they are part of the process. When you practice patience, you develop a calm determination that carries you through tough times and keeps your vision alive. Patience also teaches you to be kind to yourself. When progress feels slow, it's easy to get down on yourself, but impatience only adds pressure and stress. By being patient, you allow yourself room to grow, to make mistakes, and to learn. This self-compassion keeps your motivation alive and your mind focused on the long-term prize. And remember, patience is not passive waiting. It's active persistence. It means showing up every day, putting in the work and making thoughtful decisions while allowing time for your efforts to mature. It means balancing urgency with calmness, energy with steadiness. It's about trusting that with each consistent step, you are moving closer to your dreams. So I encourage you today to embrace patience as your ally. When you feel frustrated or discouraged, pause and remind yourself that your journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep your eyes on your goals, stay committed to your process, and know that good things are coming, sometimes in ways you don't expect, but will cherish all the more. With patience, you don't just build success, you build character, strength, and resilience. You create a foundation that can withstand challenges and last for a lifetime. So be patient, stay persistent, and watch how your long-term goals come to life in their perfect time. Clarity of vision is the foundation of every meaningful success story. Without it, you are simply drifting, busy but not productive, active but not effective. A clear long-term goal gives you direction, it gives your life structure, and it serves as a filter for every decision you make. When you know exactly where you're going, you stop entertaining things that don't align with your purpose. That kind of clarity eliminates confusion and replaces it with intention. Too many people fail not because they lack effort, but because they lack clarity. They chase multiple things, switch directions often, and never commit long enough to see results. Clarity demands that you define in detail what you want your future to look like. That means sitting down and writing it out, not just I want to be successful or I want to be rich, but specific outcomes. What does success look like to you? How will you know when you've arrived? What kind of lifestyle are you aiming for? What values are at the core of your goals? Once your vision is clear, decision making becomes easier. Every choice either brings you closer to or pulls you away from your destination. Clarity helps you say no without guilt and yes without fear. It gives you a reason to endure the struggle, to wake up early, to stay up late, and to keep going even when things don't seem to be working. You stop operating on emotion and start operating on direction. That is where your power begins. Think of it like a GPS. You can't get directions until you enter a specific destination. Similarly in life, until you are clear on your long-term goals, you will wander aimlessly, responding to life rather than creating it. People who achieve great things are not necessarily the most talented or the most connected. They are the most focused. And you can't be focused if you don't know what you're aiming for. Clarity also helps you track your progress. When your vision is defined, you can break it into milestones and benchmarks. You can measure how far you've come and adjust course when needed. Without clarity, you may work hard and still feel lost because there is no standard by which to measure success. But with a clear vision, even small wins become encouraging because you know they're part of the journey. Clarity boosts confidence. When you're certain about your goal, you stop comparing yourself to others. You understand that your race is unique and your pace is your own. That eliminates a lot of unnecessary stress and insecurity. You no longer feel the need to impress everyone because you're focused on becoming the person you need to be to reach your goal. It's also worth noting that clarity attracts resources. When people see you moving with certainty, they're more likely to help you, invest in you, or open doors for you. Why? Because clarity is rare and people are drawn to it. No one wants to support someone who is still trying to figure things out. But when you have a clear goal, a clear plan, and a clear purpose, you become a magnet for opportunities. So if you want good things to happen, if you're waiting for life to change, start by gaining clarity. Get still. Think deeply. Write down your vision. Make it specific. Make it personal. Make it powerful. Because once the mind knows where it's going, the body will follow. Clarity isn't just a good idea. It's the first step to changing your entire life. Delayed gratification is one of the most powerful principles in the pursuit of long-term success. It means choosing to endure temporary discomfort or to forego short-term pleasures in order to achieve something greater in the future. This principle separates those who simply wish for success from those who actually build it. It is not always easy, but it is always necessary. In a world obsessed with instant results, fast food, quick likes, overnight fame, delayed gratification teaches us that real value takes time. The most successful people in any field are not those who chase immediate rewards, but those who have trained themselves to wait, to work, and to trust the process. They know that short-term sacrifice is the price for long-term gain. Consider the student who studies late into the night while others party, or the athlete who trains daily while others sleep in, or the entrepreneur who invests every dollar into their vision instead of spending it on luxuries. These are examples of people practicing delayed gratification. They are saying no to what feels good now in order to say yes to something far more meaningful later. When you live by this principle, you begin to make decisions based not on how you feel in the moment, but on where you want to be in the future. Feelings are temporary. Emotions are fleeting, but the future is built by those who are willing to act with discipline, not emotion. That is what delayed gratification trains you to do. It teaches you self-control. It develops character. It strengthens your ability to focus on your long-term goals even when the reward is not immediate. And in a world that constantly encourages shortcuts and quick wins, this mindset sets you apart. It makes you more resilient, it teaches you patience, and most importantly, it gives your life direction. Think about a tree. When you plant a seed, you don't expect fruit the next day. You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight, and for a while you may see nothing happening. But underneath the surface, roots are forming, growth is occurring, and in time, if you remain consistent, that tree will bear fruit. Life works the same way. The results you want are growing beneath the surface of your effort, and they will appear, but only if you don't give up too soon. Delayed gratification also protects you from regret. Many people look back on their lives and wish they had waited, saved more, studied more, worked harder, or committed longer. They realize too late that every moment of indulgence carried a hidden cost. But when you live with the mindset of delayed gratification, you reduce those regrets. You make decisions today that your future self will thank you for. It's important to understand that delayed gratification doesn't mean living a miserable life. It simply means being intentional. It means prioritizing what matters most, even if it means postponing pleasure for a while. It means understanding that joy delayed is not joy denied, it is joy multiplied. Because when success finally comes, it feels far more rewarding knowing you earned it through discipline and patience. The truth is, anything truly great takes time. Whether it's building a career, creating wealth, developing a relationship, or mastering a skill, it requires consistent effort over time. There are no shortcuts. There is no magic. Just the simple, often uncomfortable truth: wait, work, and trust. So if you're serious about your long-term goals, embrace delayed gratification. Let it become a core part of your mindset. Remind yourself daily that your present sacrifice is your future reward. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep going. Because the best things in life come to those who are willing to wait and work while others quit and settle. Purpose-driven planning is the difference between being busy and being productive. Many people work hard, yet they feel unfulfilled because their actions lack alignment with a deeper purpose. True progress begins when your daily decisions and habits are built around your long-term vision. It's not enough to have a goal. You must build a plan that is rooted in purpose, guided by strategy, and powered by discipline. Living with purpose means you have a clear understanding of why you do what you do. Purpose fuels consistency. When challenges arise, and they always will, people without purpose quit. But those who are purpose-driven keep going because they're not working for applause, attention, or temporary comfort. They're working for something bigger than themselves. That deeper why becomes their anchor. When you plan your life around your purpose, your time becomes more valuable. You stop wasting hours on things that don't move you forward. You become intentional about how you spend your mornings, your evenings, and even your rest. Your schedule begins to reflect your priorities, and your priorities reflect your purpose. Suddenly, distractions lose their power because they don't serve your mission. This kind of planning creates focus. You're not trying to do everything, you're trying to do the right things. You don't need to say yes to every opportunity or jump into every trend. A purpose-driven plan gives you the clarity to evaluate each decision. Does this support my ultimate goal? Does this bring me closer to the life I'm building? If the answer is no, you let it go. That kind of discipline is rare, and that's exactly why it leads to uncommon success. Purpose-driven planning also brings structure to your growth. When you have a plan, your progress becomes measurable. You break your long-term goal into steps, and those steps become your daily targets. You're not just hoping for success, you're building it. You're not waiting for the right moment. You're creating momentum through intentional action. It's important to note that purpose-driven planning is not about having a perfect strategy from day one. It's about starting with what you know, taking consistent steps and adjusting along the way. You will grow, your vision may evolve, your methods may change, but the foundation, your purpose, remains constant. That's what keeps you grounded through every season. Another benefit of purpose-driven planning is that it strengthens your confidence. When you know why you're doing something and you've mapped out how to get there, doubt loses its grip. You no longer feel like you're drifting through life. You're moving forward with intention. Even when results take time, you trust the path because it's rooted in purpose. People often get overwhelmed because they try to figure everything out at once. But when you have a purpose-driven plan, you don't need all the answers today. You just need to know the next right step. One good decision leads to another, and over time, those small choices compound into something extraordinary. So if you want to achieve your long-term goals and see real transformation, start by aligning your actions with your purpose. Ask yourself daily, is what I'm doing right now supporting the future I want? Let that question shape your habits, your environment, and your decisions. Because when your life is built on purpose and your plan is built with intention, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes a matter of time. Consistency is the silent force behind every great achievement. It is not talent alone that builds success, nor is it luck. It is the ability to show up every single day, to keep doing the right things even when the results are not visible yet. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. It may not look exciting, it may not grab attention, but over time it always wins. Many people start strong. They are motivated at the beginning of a new goal, whether it's a fitness journey, a business idea, or personal transformation. But motivation fades, it always does. And when it does, what remains is your ability to remain consistent. That is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Successful people are not necessarily the most inspired every day, but they are the most committed. They have made a decision to show up regardless of how they feel. Consistency builds trust within yourself. Every time you follow through on your promises to yourself, whether it's waking up early, completing a task, or resisting a distraction, you strengthen your belief in your own reliability. You begin to develop internal confidence because you know that you can count on yourself. That's a powerful mindset to have. You don't need outside approval or constant encouragement because your identity is being shaped by your action. The truth is, big goals are not achieved in one big moment. They are the result of countless small efforts, repeated day after day. One workout doesn't make you fit. One healthy meal doesn't make you strong. One productive day doesn't change your life. But repeated over time, these actions build momentum. They build habits. They create a lifestyle that naturally produces success. Even when progress feels slow or invisible, consistency is still working. Think of a bamboo tree. For the first few years after planting, you see almost no growth above ground. But during that time, the roots are growing deep and strong. Then suddenly, in a short period, the tree grows several feet tall. That's how life works. Your consistent effort is building something underground, skills, discipline, resilience, and when the time is right, the results will appear. Consistency also gives you the opportunity to learn and adjust. When you keep showing up, even if you fail, you gain experience. You learn what works and what doesn't. You make better decisions. You improve your approach. But if you stop too early, you rob yourself of that growth. It's not about being perfect every day, it's about not quitting. Small progress is still progress, and over time it adds up in ways you can't yet imagine. Another key aspect of consistency is that it simplifies your life. When you commit to a few daily actions that align with your goals, you eliminate the chaos of indecision. You don't waste energy debating whether or not to act. You just follow your system. And over time, that structure creates freedom. You start seeing the fruits of your discipline in every area of your life. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year of consistent effort. That's why consistency matters. It's not glamorous, but it's effective. It's not always exciting, but it's transformational. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep showing up. Every day you stay consistent, you're investing in your future. You're building a foundation that will support the success you're working toward. And that success, when it arrives, will not be a surprise. It will be the natural outcome of your steady, faithful commitment. Distractions are the silent killers of progress. In a world overflowing with noise, social media, instant messages, endless entertainment, and constant demands, it's never been easier to lose focus. Every moment you give to something that doesn't serve your purpose, you trade a piece of your future for temporary stimulation. And most people don't even realize it's happening. That's the danger. Distractions don't always look harmful. They often come disguised as harmless fun, urgent tasks, or even social expectations. But slowly they drain your energy, waste your time, and pull you away from your long-term goals. To achieve anything meaningful, you must learn the skill of intentional focus. That begins with the ability to identify distractions for what they are. A distraction is anything that moves you away from your purpose. It may be a toxic relationship, mindless scrolling, fear-based thinking, or even overcommitting to things that have nothing to do with your goals. Whatever form it takes, it has one mission: to keep you stuck in the same place, doing the same things, and never making real progress. The most dangerous distractions are not the obvious ones. They are the subtle habits that you justify. You tell yourself you're just taking a break. You tell yourself you'll start again tomorrow. You convince yourself that what you're doing is harmless, even when it's costing you valuable time and mental space. That's why you must be brutally honest with yourself. Ask, is this helping me grow? Is this aligned with where I want to go? If not, it's a distraction, and it must be dealt with. Protecting your focus requires discipline. You cannot rely on motivation alone, because motivation comes and goes. Discipline means you do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It means creating boundaries, setting routines, and designing an environment that supports your growth. It means saying no, even when saying yes would be more comfortable or popular. You also have to take control of your mental environment. Not all distractions are external. Many are internal. Self-doubt, overthinking, negative self-talk, fear of failure. These mental distractions can be just as destructive as external ones. To master them, you need to renew your mind daily. Read, reflect, journal, pray, meditate. Whatever helps you regain clarity and stay centered on your goal. The more control you gain over your mind, the less power distractions will have over you. The truth is, focus is a superpower. When you eliminate distractions and give your full attention to your vision, you become unstoppable. The same energy that is being wasted on scrolling, worrying, comparing, or entertaining can be redirected into building, learning, and creating. That shift alone can transform your life. Most people don't need more time, they need more focus. There will always be something trying to pull you off track. You can't control the world, but you can control what you respond to. You can choose to unplug. You can choose to walk away. You can choose to create a daily plan and follow it, regardless of how you feel. Every time you resist a distraction, you strengthen your focus muscle. And over time, that focus turns into results. So protect your attention like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. What you give your attention to, you give your life to. If you stay distracted, you will live a life of reaction, always responding to what others demand. But if you stay focused, you will live a life of intention, creating what you truly desire. The choice is always yours. Patience is one of the most underrated yet essential virtues on the journey toward achieving long-term goals. In today's world where everything seems to happen instantly, fast food, fast internet, instant messaging, it's easy to expect quick results in every area of life. But real success, the kind that lasts and transforms who you are, doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, not a moment. And that process requires patience. Without it, you will give up too soon, doubt yourself too often, and miss the beautiful unfolding of growth that only time can produce. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing to work while trusting the process. It's about taking deliberate steps daily and understanding that some results take longer because they're building something deep within you. When a seed is planted, it doesn't sprout the next day. First, it grows roots beneath the surface. Roots you can't see, but that are necessary to support the future growth above ground. Your goals are no different. While you may not always see immediate results, the inner development, your discipline, your mindset, your skills is taking place quietly. One of the greatest misunderstandings about success is that if it doesn't come quickly, it must not be working. That's not true. Many things are happening behind the scenes when you stay consistent, even if you can't see them yet. Patience allows you to keep moving without demanding immediate evidence of progress. It gives you the mental space to grow, to learn, and to evolve without the pressure of instant success. Impatience, on the other hand, can be your biggest enemy. It causes you to compare your journey with others, to rush decisions, and to abandon your plan at the first sign of discomfort. It creates anxiety and frustration, which clouds your judgment and drains your motivation. But when you learn to be patient, you protect your peace. You allow the journey to unfold at the pace it's meant to. You stop trying to force timing and start trusting in preparation. Patience also builds character. It teaches humility because you realize that everything doesn't revolve around your timeline. It teaches resilience because you learn how to stay strong through delays and disappointments. It teaches faith because you begin to trust that what is meant for you will not pass you even if it takes time. These qualities not only prepare you for success, they qualify you to sustain it. When you're patient, you begin to find joy in the process. You stop obsessing over outcomes and start appreciating the daily growth. Every small win, every lesson learned, every obstacle overcome becomes part of your transformation. And that transformation is what truly matters. Achieving your goal is great, but becoming the person who can handle it is even greater. Long-term goals require a long-term mindset. You have to be willing to play the long game even when others chase shortcuts. You have to keep showing up, keep doing the work, and keep believing day after day. That kind of commitment is rare. And that's exactly why it leads to uncommon results. So remind yourself often, just because it's not happening fast doesn't mean it's not happening. Stay the course, trust the process. Be patient with your timing, but urgent with your effort. The results may take time, but if you remain faithful in the waiting, you will look back one day and realize that every delay had a purpose, and every season of waiting was preparing you for something greater. Accountability is a powerful tool that transforms intentions into results. Many people have dreams and goals, but without accountability, those dreams often remain just ideas. Accountability means taking full responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your progress. It means no longer blaming circumstances, other people, or external factors when things don't go as planned. Instead, it requires a mindset shift from seeing yourself as a passive passenger in your life to becoming the active driver steering toward your goals. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a system of self-checks and balances. You set standards for your behavior and commit to meeting them consistently. This might mean tracking your progress daily, setting clear deadlines, or sharing your goals with someone who can support and challenge you. Accountability turns vague desires into measurable commitments. It forces you to move beyond wishful thinking and into concrete action. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to stay on track is because they don't have anyone or anything holding them accountable. Without accountability, it's easy to make excuses or delay action. It's easy to convince yourself that tomorrow is a better day to start, or that one missed day doesn't matter. But those small lapses add up. Accountability helps break that cycle by keeping you honest and motivated, especially on days when your enthusiasm wanes. Accountability also helps you learn and grow. When you take responsibility for both your successes and failures, you open yourself up to valuable lessons. Instead of blaming external factors, you analyze what went wrong and what you can do differently next time. This growth mindset is essential for long-term success because it turns setbacks into stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Moreover, accountability increases your focus and clarity. When you know you have to report your progress or evaluate your performance, you become more intentional with your time and energy. You prioritize tasks that matter and eliminate distractions that don't serve your purpose. This sharpens your decision-making and propels you forward with greater momentum. Another important aspect of accountability is that it builds self-discipline. Over time, the habit of checking in with yourself or others trains your mind to resist short-term temptations in favor of long-term rewards. It becomes easier to say no to distractions, procrastination, or negative influences because you're committed to your own growth. You develop the strength to push through discomfort and keep going even when motivation is low. Accountability doesn't have to be a heavy or stressful burden. It can be empowering. When you see your progress clearly, celebrate small wins, and hold yourself to high standards, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable of following through. That confidence fuels more action and more progress, creating a positive cycle. Sometimes accountability comes from outside sources, mentors, coaches, friends, or accountability partners. These people can provide encouragement, guidance, and gentle reminders when you're slipping. They offer an outside perspective that can keep you grounded and honest. But the most important accountability always comes from within. When you develop strong internal accountability, you don't rely on others to keep you on track. You become your own greatest motivator and disciplinarian. Ultimately, accountability is about ownership. It's about owning your goals, owning your journey, and owning your results. When you do that, you unlock a level of personal power that no external circumstance can take away. You become the architect of your own success, and nothing can stop you from moving forward. So if you want to achieve your long-term goals, start by committing to accountability. Create a system that works for you, whether it's journaling your progress, setting weekly goals, or finding an accountability partner. Hold yourself to your word. Celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward with integrity. Because when you take full responsibility for your actions, good things will not only happen, they will happen faster and with greater impact. Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns dreams into reality. Many people start with enthusiasm and high hopes, but only those who remain consistent truly reach their long-term goals. Consistency means showing up day after day, doing the work regardless of how you feel, what distractions arise, or how slowly progress seems to come. It's not about perfection or giant leaps forward. It's about steady, persistent effort that accumulates over time. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it happens suddenly or because of a single big moment. In truth, success is usually the result of small, consistent actions done repeatedly. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of daily habits and routines that support the goal. When you commit to consistency, you're building that foundation. Each day you put in the work, no matter how small, you're strengthening the structure of your future success. Consistency also helps you build momentum. At first, starting a new habit or working toward a goal can feel difficult. The initial energy might be high, but it's easy to lose motivation when results aren't immediate. However, when you maintain a consistent effort, momentum begins to build naturally. Small wins add up, confidence grows, and your motivation is renewed. That momentum carries you through the tough days when you don't feel like pushing forward. Another important aspect of consistency is that it helps reduce stress and overwhelm. When you develop a routine and stick to it, you create a sense of predictability and control. You don't waste mental energy debating whether to work or procrastinate because your actions become automatic. This frees your mind to focus on creativity, problem solving, and making progress rather than getting stuck in indecision or self-doubt. Consistency also strengthens your discipline. Discipline is like a muscle that grows stronger with use, and consistency is the exercise that builds it. The more you practice doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to, the easier it becomes. Eventually, consistent effort becomes a habit, and habits shape your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who is reliable and committed. This shift in identity is powerful because it influences how you approach challenges and opportunities. It's important to remember that consistency doesn't mean rigid perfection. Life will throw curveballs, unexpected events, setbacks, or changes that disrupt your routine. Consistency means getting back on track as soon as possible, not beating yourself up for occasional slips. It's about commitment over time, not perfection every single day. When you practice forgiveness and flexibility while staying consistent, you build resilience and sustain progress. Another key benefit of consistency is that it allows you to track and measure your progress effectively. When you show up regularly and follow a plan, you can see what's working and what isn't. This feedback loop helps you make informed adjustments and improve continuously. Without consistency, it's hard to evaluate your efforts or build on your successes. Consistency also sets an example for others. Whether you realize it or not, your commitment inspires those around you. It creates a culture of dedication and perseverance that can motivate your friends, family, or colleagues to pursue their own goals. When you demonstrate consistent effort, you become a living proof that success is possible with patience and persistence. Ultimately, consistency is about honoring your commitment to yourself and your vision. It's about choosing to prioritize your long-term goals above short-term distractions or excuses. When you are consistent, you show that your dreams matter enough to invest time, energy, and focus daily. That investment compounds, creating results that might seem slow at first, but become unstoppable over time. So if you want good things to happen and your long-term goals to come to fruition, embrace consistency. Make a plan, set small daily actions, and commit to showing up no matter what. Celebrate your persistence, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward steadily, because with consistency, you're not just chasing success, you're building it one day at a time. Visualization is a powerful mental practice that can dramatically influence your ability to achieve long-term goals. It's more than just daydreaming or wishful thinking. Visualization is a focused technique where you intentionally create vivid, detailed images of your desired outcomes in your mind. When done consistently and with belief, it can align your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward turning those mental pictures into reality. The brain is wired to respond to what it perceives as real, even if it's imagined. When you visualize success, your brain activates the same neural pathways that would fire if you were actually experiencing those achievements. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind and body for success, making you more confident, motivated, and ready to take the necessary steps. It's like training your brain to recognize what success looks and feels like, so when opportunities arise, you're more likely to recognize and seize them. Visualization also helps clarify your goals. When you picture your future clearly, you define what you truly want. This clarity acts as a compass that guides your daily decisions and actions. Without a clear vision, it's easy to get distracted or lose motivation because the destination is vague. Visualization sharpens your focus and reminds you why your long-term goals are worth the effort and sacrifice. Emotional engagement is a crucial part of effective visualization. Simply seeing an image in your mind isn't enough. You need to feel the emotions associated with achieving your goal. Imagine the pride, joy, relief, or excitement you would experience once you reach your destination. These feelings create a powerful emotional charge that energizes your commitment. When your mind associates your goals with positive emotions, it strengthens your desire to keep moving forward, even through challenges. Another benefit of visualization is that it helps reduce fear and anxiety. Often the fear of failure or uncertainty can paralyze progress. But when you mentally rehearse success, you build familiarity and comfort with the idea of achieving your goals. This mental preparation reduces self-doubt and boosts your confidence. You start to believe that success is not only possible, but inevitable if you keep taking the right steps. Visualization also encourages creative problem solving. As you mentally walk through your path to success, you begin to anticipate obstacles and imagine how to overcome them. This foresight prepares you to handle setbacks calmly and effectively. When challenges come, you're less likely to be thrown off course because you've already rehearsed potential solutions in your mind. For visualization to be most effective, it should be practiced regularly and intentionally. Many successful people dedicate time each day to visualize their goals, often in a quiet, distraction-free environment. This consistent practice reinforces the neural pathways associated with success and keeps your mind focused on what truly matters. Visualization can be combined with other goal-setting strategies such as affirmations, journaling, or creating vision boards. These tools complement each other by keeping your goals top of mind and strengthening your mental connection to your desired outcomes. The more you immerse yourself in the vision of your success, the more it becomes a part of your identity and daily reality. It's important to understand that visualization alone won't produce results without action. It's not a substitute for hard work, discipline, and perseverance. Instead, visualization serves as a mental framework that prepares you to act with purpose and confidence. It aligns your mindset with your efforts, making your actions more effective and meaningful. When you combine consistent visualization with disciplined action, you create a powerful synergy that accelerates your progress. You begin to notice opportunities that align with your goals, meet people who can support your journey, and develop habits that reinforce your vision. This alignment between mind and action makes success feel natural and attainable. Ultimately, visualization is about believing in your potential and rehearsing the life you want to create. It's a way to connect your present efforts with your future rewards, keeping you motivated and focused on the long term. By regularly imagining your success in detail and with feeling, you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to receive the good things that are coming your way. Visualization turns your goals from distant dreams into vivid, achievable realities. Patience is one of the most important virtues when it comes to achieving long-term goals, yet it is often overlooked in our fast-paced world. We live in a society that prizes instant gratification, quick results, immediate feedback, and rapid success stories. However, real, lasting success rarely comes overnight. It requires patience, a steady, calm endurance that allows you to keep working toward your goal, even when progress seems slow or invisible. Patience is about understanding that good things take time. It's about trusting the process and maintaining belief in your vision, even when the outcome is not yet clear. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate rewards or because they become frustrated by obstacles and delays. But those who cultivate patience know that every step forward, no matter how small, is part of a bigger journey. They realize that setbacks are temporary and that persistence will eventually pay off. One key aspect of patience is learning to manage your expectations. When you set goals, it's natural to want results quickly, but impatience often leads to disappointment and discouragement. Instead, try to focus on progress rather than perfection. Celebrate small victories along the way, even if they seem insignificant. Each little achievement is a building block toward your ultimate goal. Patience teaches you to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Patience also helps you develop resilience. When things don't go as planned, patience allows you to stay calm and composed instead of reacting impulsively or giving up. It gives you the strength to keep going despite difficulties, failures, or criticism. This resilience is crucial because the path to success is rarely linear. There will always be ups and downs. Patience equips you to navigate these fluctuations with grace and determination. Another important element of patience is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when progress is slow or when you make mistakes. But impatience often stems from unrealistic self-expectations. Patience encourages you to treat yourself kindly, understanding that growth takes time and that setbacks are part of learning. When you practice self-compassion, you reduce stress and maintain motivation, which helps you stay on track longer. Patience also improves your decision-making. When you're impatient, you might rush into choices or take shortcuts that undermine your long-term success. Patience allows you to pause, reflect, and make thoughtful decisions. It helps you avoid unnecessary risks and focus on sustainable progress. Taking your time to evaluate options and learn from experiences leads to better outcomes. Moreover, patience builds trust. Trust in yourself, your process, and your vision. When you consistently choose patience over frustration, you reinforce your belief that your efforts will pay off. This trust is a source of inner peace that reduces anxiety and keeps you motivated. It reminds you that even if things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like, you are moving in the right direction. Patience also helps you maintain healthy relationships and support systems. Pursuing long-term goals can sometimes be lonely or isolating. When you're patient, you're more likely to communicate openly, seek help when needed, and maintain positive connections with those who encourage your growth. Patience allows you to listen, learn from others, and build a community that sustains you through the journey. It's important to understand that patience is not passive waiting. It's an active, intentional practice. It means continuing to work hard, stay committed, and take consistent action while allowing time for results to manifest. Patience involves balancing urgency with calmness, energy with steadiness, and hope with realism. To cultivate patience, develop daily habits that remind you to slow down and stay present. Practice mindfulness or meditation to reduce stress and increase awareness. Set realistic milestones and give yourself permission to progress gradually. When you feel impatience creeping in, take a deep breath, refocus on your purpose, and remind yourself that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Ultimately, patience is a cornerstone of long-term success because it aligns your mindset with the natural rhythm of growth and change. It enables you to persevere, learn, and evolve until your efforts bear fruit. By embracing patience, you allow good things to happen in their own time, often in ways you couldn't have predicted but will deeply appreciate. With patience, you build not only your dreams but also your character, creating a foundation for lasting achievement and fulfillment.